I see more and more often taxes being a consideration in the sales, in the exit. When should someone consider their tax planning?
Right now. I had to make last, we didn't do a great job of tax planning from the very start. And so, when we were kind of in the thick of things and realizing that we were actually going to be selling our business, that's when we kind of kicked into high gear and made arrangements to minimize our tax liability as much as possible. But, being able to plan for that, being able to know what to do with the funds after you receive it, all those things you should be planning and talking to your CPAs and attorneys like right now, to make sure that your ducks in order, that there's going to be a less likelihood of red flags going on, things like that. So if you're thinking about selling right now, if you're even considering it, I would start with the tax planning right off the bat and then go from there, because it could save you hundreds and thousands of dollars. And it's always the best to keep as much money of your own money as possible, right?
Absolutely. I can earn back my commission in tax planning too. There's only a few things that we can do as the clock rolls on and we get really close to the closing.
Right.
If you engage with, humbly, me early, I can help. I've got tax planners and tax advisors. There's ways to defer your capital gains, much like real estate. Real estate offers some really cool, 1031 tax deferred exchange. There's stuff like that too. There's opportunity zone funds. There's charitable remainder trusts. I've learned
Yep.
all about this. I'm not the expert, but I will put people in touch with the folks who do that. So if you've got a chunk of the transaction, that's the important part about engaging with me quickly, because if I look at the financials, I can see where you're going to trade in within 10 or 15%. Once we know what that amount is, then we have the conversation about, okay, well, how much of that is going to be in cash versus earnout or equity, et cetera. Okay, so of the cash amount, how much do you need to live on versus what do you want to defer for tax purposes? So it's
Right.
a multi-step process that none of that, we can't get to it until we have the conversation. So I agree, you definitely want to get your tax planner quickly. But even before then, please, if you're watching this and you're thinking about selling, give me a call. I'll give you a free business valuation. We'll do a sales and strategy plan. There's no catch. I'm not asking for any compensation. This is what I do to build my network. If you later decide to list with me, happy to list with you. I'd be honored to guide you through the process. But if we do it this way, God, I can save you hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes that are just going to go to Biden. Give me a chance to work that part out. So I appreciate you saying the emphasis of it is got to be right now, because if we wait, then we lose a lot of opportunity. And I don't know about you, Chris, but 2022, I don't think taxes are going down.
Yeah, definitely not going down. So you want to, put yourself in the best position to, again, get as much of that as possible. And with the right tax planning, you can achieve that. There's only so much you can do, but there are options out there. And, that's a huge component of it. And that was a big learning lesson for me. Luckily, I was able to make the moves out of my situation in order to save on some of the taxes. So it all worked out for me in the end. But if I had to go back in time, I would have done this so much like before I even started listing it.
Yeah,
Really,
for sure.
so
No,
that's the first thing you want to really
that's
focus
exactly
on.
when we want to do it, because we usually have some time before the business gets listed. Now you had a time frame you wanted me to hit, so I was pushing things along and moving that. But oftentimes folks will contact me a year or two, and I'll
Yeah.
be doing advisory for them for free, completely for free, until they're ready to get listed, and then they can make those moves, make those changes. And speaking of moves, I have had a number of clients in California move out of California, and that is a great recommendation. I would highly recommend people take a look at the states that have no state income tax, because that is a huge opportunity right there. If you can, if you have a nexus and family and all that other stuff, it's a little bit harder. But I have seen my clients uproot their families and move to Texas, Florida, Nevada, and they have saved themselves hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars just by doing that.
one of the simplest things you can do right off the bat, right? And you don't really think about that if you're thinking about listing your business, but that's why having a call with someone like Nate or CPA attorney, they can recommend that to you, so you're aware of that. And make the necessary moves if you choose to take advantage of that, But that's one of the easiest things you could do: move to another state with zero state income tax, right?
Yeah. If you want to make it really radical, you can move to Puerto Rico, where it's only
like me, yeah.
Where I ended up going to.
Exactly.
So I live it and breathe it. Yeah, that is the ultimate U.S. citizen tax shelter. Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory. People are moving there from all walks of life to shelter capital gains, and it's completely legit, 100% legal, approved by the IRS, by the Puerto Rico government as well. So there's a ton of information about that. Anyone that's watching that has any questions about that, you can feel free to let me know too. There's great resources on YouTube. In fact, there's resources that I even watch on YouTube about Puerto Rico and the tax planning and stuff there as well. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications about new videos and interviews. And introduce yourself in the comments. Are you a buyer or a seller?